This clip is brought to you by SaveWithConrad.com.
I wanted to also ask you about the Omni show that night. It was pretty common that whenever you would do these morning or matinee television tapings for TBS, you guys are going to have to hop on a plane somewhere and head somewhere to do a match. On this particular day, August 16th, you get to stay in town. You're at the Omni. What'd you do on a day like that when you don't have to hustle and bustle and you're just in Atlanta? Does your routine allow any sort of fun, or do you just leave the television studio and go straight to the building?
No, we would probably have a room at the airport Marriott. We would get out of there. We would probably go have some lunch. Be honest with you, maybe take an hour and a half nap. Then there was a Gold's Gym that was out by the Atlanta airport at that time, Camp Creek Parkway, I think it was. We would run over there, get a quick workout, come back, shower, head down to the Omni. Still had to get that workout in. It was just important. It was self-preservation when you're wrestling literally every day. 300, I believe 86 was 336 days we wrestled. That's not times, that's days. Your coat of armor was getting in that gym and stretching out and sweating and working out, and staying strong and staying in shape. It was just part of your routine.
Let's talk about how hot the business was here too. Remember now, this is August 16th, 1986. The Great American Bash Tour is over. We've got Jim Crockett Promotions on this day in the Omni. We've also got Jim Crockett Promotions in the Civic Center in Philadelphia. Here's the card from each. In Atlanta, we had the Warlord defeating the Barbarian by DQ. Manny Fernandez is going to defeat Tejo Khan. Bill Dundee would pick up a win over Sam Houston. Buddy Landell would manage to defeat Todd Champion. Jimmy Valiant would be victorious over Paul Jones. Our main event is a 2 out of 3 falls match with the NWA World Champion Ric Flair and Dusty Rhodes. And right before they go out, it's a 6-man tag with Tully, Ole, and Arn in an elimination match against the Road Warriors and Paul Ellering. You didn't see a lot of this back then. Paul Ellering being part of the group in a 6-man tag. And it's not with JJ. It's with Arn, Ole, and Tully. Were you guys like drawing straws to see who got to work with Paul and who had to work with the roadies?
We had to be chasing Paul around that area like he owed us money.
I'm sure.
Let me get my hands on Ellering's ass. I'll at least get something in before I get killed.
That same day, remember now, that's the Omni show. In Philadelphia, we've got Dick Murdoch and Steve Regal, Wahoo and the Baron, the Russians taking on Dutch Mantell and Bobby Jaggers, and then a 2 out of 3 falls match with Ricky and Robert, not only challenging, but beating the Midnight Express to win the titles. Fall number 1 is Gibson pinning Eaton. Fall number 2 is Condrey pinning Gibson. And fall number 3 is Morton pinning Condrey. And we've got new NWA World Tag Team Champions, but we're not done. We're going to have the best of 7. This is match number 7. And Magnum and Nikita go to a no contest. Bob Geigel was the special guest referee for the bout to make sure that it was everything the NWA wanted. But that was the main event. That's the same day, guys. It's unbelievable when you think about that you've got the Horsemen and the Road Warriors as a co-main event on one show. And then you've got the Midnights versus the Rock and Rolls in the co-main event of the other show. Dusty and Flair as the main event in Atlanta. Magnum and Nikita as the main event in Philly. This is maybe the greatest run of Jim Crockett's, creative juices or what have you. But it's interesting the way the shows draw. I assume when you talk about Ric Flair and Dusty Rhodes and the NWA World Title and the Road Warriors, well, in the Omni, buddy, they're going to have to squeeze people in there. They only draw 2,800 fans. 2,800 fans. Philadelphia that night, without Flair, without Dusty, without the Road Warriors, 7,000 fans for Magnum and Nikita and the Battle of the Expresses. It really is remarkable. That doesn't even feel like there's an A or a B town. And together, 9,800 fans saw Jim Crockett Promotions that day. It's something else, dude.
I do believe, and just as we read through this and we're going through the chronological order of the months and the years and stuff, I'm getting a feeling just from listening to you run it down, we ran the Omni way too much.
Yeah.
That was a big mistake. It was a once a month show when Ole, Jim Barnett were in charge. It should have stayed, probably even went to every couple of months to get the full benefit of it. You can run a town too much and you take all the money out of it. And, you know, people are on a budget, they have lives. And I feel like just listening to that. But in those days, if you had two really big main events in a town, you could draw, you know, that wouldn't do it. You can't do that now. But in those days, if you had, and especially if you had a 6-man or something, you had a lot of big stars in those two matches. It was possible to draw, you know, really strong business, obviously, and split the crew up. And we had enough guys over that you could do that back then.
It really is remarkable. There's been a lot said.
Hey, it's Conrad Thompson. Thanks for checking out the podcast here on YouTube. Be sure to hit the subscribe button and the notifications bell so you get a notice anytime we upload some new content. And go save yourself some money right now. If you're in a 30-year loan or you have credit card debt, it's not a matter of if I can save you money. It's a matter of how much. Find out right now for free at SaveWithConrad.com.